What's up?
What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. And welcome to MG Show, where we have James Dirty Cop Comey indicted. Wow. The first arrest is going to show you the direction of the country, and it looks like we're going to get some answers. Now, we also have another pesky Q-proof, a couple of them yesterday, guys. It's crazy. We've got the Q-proof in regards to Arabella advisors and the NGOs. We're going to talk about that today because that one, it was funny, Shady. I was looking at Fox, and they went right to 5 because apparently the 5 can't show the president. They need to spew their bullshit. But they missed the biggest part, in my opinion, the NGOs, Shady Groove. They're going after them, and they're going after them hard. And this is the Antifa-supported things as well. He even said, I've been to dinner with people. And he was at dinner with Bill Gates. You got to learn the comms. This is incredible, guys. I am so pumped up. Then we've got another developing Q-proof where these charges are just kind of like a placeholder, and more charges coming, and that is a Q-proof as well. Bigger charges coming. Shady.
Man, oh man, thank you so much for everybody for being here. It's Friday, and we are shot out of a cannon, to say the least. I think that we even spoke to you yesterday and said that it was a very high likelihood that James Comey would be indicted yesterday, and actually he was indicted. And we also are seeing a number of things that are leading us to believe that at this moment, this is a watershed moment. This is a watershed moment because everybody that has lost all of their trust in the FBI, we get it. We understand that you've lost trust in the FBI. What you're not understanding is trust in the FBI is being reestablished. And I'm going to tell you, I'm sitting here and I've seen how they've handled a couple of these major cases now that have been with Charlie and a couple of the other ones. And what they're doing for us, what they're doing for the American people is exactly what it is that we want them to do. The things that you do so that conspiracy theories can't completely undermine the administration. And even though they're doing what they're doing, all these people are making conspiracy theories up so that they can attempt to soften the target, if you will, to try to take down Donald Trump and his administration from being effective. Because if they're effective, Jeff, that means they're going to get to this next layer because Comey, it's not just Comey, is it?
No, it's going to be more. It's going to be more. And by the way, people still saying that Alexis Wilkins is Mossad is, you guys are batshit crazy. I'm tired of the bullshit. Blackpilling people doesn't help. Okay.
Wow.
Does it?
I can't believe it, man. I'm telling you, like, I think everybody, there's something in the water.
Yeah, there is something in the water. And, we had former FBI John Nance, who actually was Kyle Serafin's handler or boss. And Kyle Serafin basically went batshit crazy and is being sued by Alexis Wilkins because she's not Jewish. She worked at Prager University. It was the guy, the lady that was in charge of Prager. Then people make these stupid ass connections. I mean, you guys have got to stop.
They won't. They can't
handle
stop.
With care. You are the news now. And if you're not handling with care, GTFO.
Well, yeah. Well, that's we're going in a different direction than that.
Yeah.
So if you guys are going with us, you can go with us.
Yeah. Alexis Wilkins is Akash Patel's girlfriend, and everybody's saying that she's Mossad.
She's a
Kyle
country
Serafin.
music singer.
Yeah, Larry Loomer said it. Yeah, she's a country music singer. Guys.
She's in Nashville singing country music, and these people are trying to say she's an Israeli spy and compromising Akash Patel.
And we've got so much goodness happening. Why are you posting about that shit?
And why did Trump say yesterday that Israel's not going to get Gaza?
Wow. Because he's controlled by Israel.
Oh, no.
Oh,
if
wait.
he was controlled by Gaza, he would be going to hand over the West Bank to Israel.
He's controlled by Gaza?
Or if he's controlled by Israel.
Oh. So he's not controlled by Israel is what you're saying.
I'm definitely saying that.
I'm like the mainstream news. I don't know what you're talking about.
They don't. Well, no, they're doing that on purpose. And that's the point. That's the point of mocking them. That's the point of mocking what they're doing, guys. You have to understand, number one, this is what you have to understand. Jeff, am I the American person the same as the CIA?
Yes.
Jeff.
No.
As an American person, thank you. Now you guys really gave him a sound right there.
Mm-hmm.
As an American person, you're not a member of the CIA. You're not a member of the intelligence organization. The people that live in Israel or quote unquote Israel, whenever you just say this broad term, you say Israel. Israel is controlling. Israel is doing it. Do you understand that there is a parliament? There are disagreements. There's functional disagreements. Like most of the people in Israel that are elected into government positions aren't in agreement with Benjamin Netanyahu. Does everybody understand that, or are we skipping over all that? We're skipping over the idea that Benjamin Netanyahu has been lording over them, and then everybody wants to say that the people that support him don't support him. There is dialogue in Israel. So saying Israel's doing anything is nothing. Benjamin Netanyahu does not have the power that people think that he does. Matter of fact, he's going to be coming here next week, and all the Palestinian nut jobs, along with Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, are going to be out there trying to climb the fence to get at Netanyahu. This is not diplomacy. This is madness. People are different than their governments, and intelligence agencies are different than their governments.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, you be naked, brother. What is going on?
That can't happen. It's Friday.
Cram, thank you so much for the one gifted
streaker.
And Land of Hoya, another gifted subscription. We've got some naked people in here, and we love you guys. Sandy Star White, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And by the way, Alex Jones was right again, Shady.
Alex Jones had to come back and talk to Shady.
Yeah. And don't ever go full Hitler.
The Hitler
please.
mustache, and it was very interesting. I can tell you it had a wild effect on women. I thought they were about to start throwing their panties at me. And they didn't know why. They were looking at me because most modern women, even young ones, don't really even know even what Hitler is, but they in the back of their head, they know what it is. So they got a guy with, kind of Lex Luthor meets Adolf Hitler looks with blue eyes, and they just didn't know what to do. They're like melting. The Hitler.
I mean, don't you just want to throw your panties up on the stage for
boy,
Hitler Jones?
You guys, this is, if you think that this mess is not for entertainment purposes only, if the amount of people that take this in as information from this guy is absolutely insane.
Yeti, cue the sound bite. Ready?
Uh-oh.
I'll eat your ass. I will.
Oh, wait, we couldn't hear it. Do it again.
I'll eat your ass. I will.
That sound.
Thank you, Alex Hitler Jones. The women were throwing their panties at me.
I thought he was impersonating Brian Gamble.
Oh, my God. He is.
He's doing
Miss
Brian
and Ruth,
Gamble
thank you so
doing
much.
Hitler.
1 subscription. Appreciate that. Cupid's Cowgirl 5. Thank you so much. And we got Agent Miami. I love the MG show and my family. That is all. $17 Rumble rant. Thank you. We are not possible. We're only brought to you by you guys. Thank you so much. And we get a little, ad here and there. But we're very lucky and blessed to have all of you right here on the MG show. And by the way, Alex, Q was right way before you ever were right.
The only reason Alex Jones was right was because he's part of the situation that is trying to destroy our country. That's the reason. That's the reason. The reason is because the insiders were destroying our country and they were destroying our dialogue. And people like Charlie Kirk were trying to fix that. They were really trying to fix that because you've got all of the people on the right out there that are carrying hatchets and want to attack. Like you got the what's his name? Scott McKay's out there carrying hatchets, wanting to take hatchets to Democrats. You got all these Republicans out there trying to say that, all these people are coming at me because they're putting boys in women's bathrooms. Like they're doing this on purpose. They're preventing us from having a dialogue, and InfoWars is at the core of that.
So I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. Well said, Shady, but this is important. We've got to get this one out here. Ready?
Let's do it.
Yeti, you ready? Wow.
Yeti, ready?
Mm-hmm. Let's be clear. Cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It is here, and it's the latest move cements the reality in the biggest way yet. Trump Media Group just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They're teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in CRO, the powerhouse token that fuels fast, low DeFi, staking awards, low-fee DeFi, staking rewards, and real-world perks like cash back on your spends to launch the America's first CRO treasury. When it's done, this new company will be the biggest CRO holder out there. You want in the action? Head to Crypto.com today and grab some CRO, and let's make crypto great again.
Wow, this is getting ready to, this whole hemisphere of financial reality is getting ready to explode now that we have taken the reins. We don't get into crypto stuff on this show very much. That's a very great ad there because I got other insight on this, but I'm not going to get into it.
All right. Well, thank you.
I know.
Thank you for all that. I got some great info, but
okay. Here's the insight on that. What Donald Trump has done is he has made crypto American-based, not clown-based. Okay, if you understand what crypto really is and how it was built and how the dark web really works, the dark web is essentially the Silk Road. Okay, you got to think of the Silk Road, go back in the day, like how you can get anything, you can buy anything you want with using Bitcoin and whatnot. That whole process has been operated and controlled kind of off the books. That is being brought back in to be able to be regulated and actually overseen by the federal government in America, as opposed to just literally a clown operation. This is a big reason that all these people out there in crypto are losing their minds right now, because they've made investments in types of crypto that are not going to be not going to have any value in the future compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum and a couple of others.
That's right. Good points. Good points,
Sorry
guys.
about that.
All right. So no, you better be.
I am. It's Friday.
All right. So
back today.
James Comey's been indicted.
So he made a video without seashells.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, he's acting. Yeah. So let's just, wow. So, where do you start? You know where I want to start first real quick is because we've been talking about Arabella advisors and the foreign and domestic billionaires that you've heard funding all this stuff. I mean, this Soros's Open Society said that there's no information of us actually. Yes, there is. Yeah. There is plenty of open source information showing that you actually fund these folks.
But he thinks he's protected, Jeff. He thinks that 501c4 protects him. He thinks that all these little organizations in Arabella set up perfectly because you can't see where the money's coming from. It's just your own money. It's not really our money. It's not really foreign money.
Yeah. Why am I blurry? Jeez.
It's Friday.
It's Friday and I'm blurry. Okay, leave me alone.
That's it. You don't complain to yourself.
I'm Friday. You're blurry. Leave us alone. Wait, what?
Crystal clear.
All right, so this is yet another pesky Q-proof. They all have foundations and institute for a reason and follow the money. President Trump on 9/25/2025 orders federal law enforcement to investigate liberal groups, cites Soros as a target. Q-Post 10/31/2017, Q-Post 15. P.S. Soros is targeted. 3/6/2018, 861. They all have foundations and institutes for a reason. Stupid. Arabella advisors. Dig by the MG show. Soros, Weiss, Gates, Omidar, and more. See quote post here. Boom. There it is. By the way, we did this, 4 years ago, Shady? Was it 2021?
It was
August.
2021.
Okay. This is a QD code, guys. It's more than just these posts. It's a full-on blown decode that everybody ignored because they wanted you to talk about devolution and Nisara Jisara and all this other shit you can't approve. All right. So let's listen to President Trump because there's some keys in here, guys. He's going to talk to you about having dinner with somebody who was recently at the White House having dinner with President Donald J. Trump, Bill Gates. Remember?
Very interesting commentary from him here.
Yeah, you got to learn the comms. So this is it, guys. This is the executive order. Let's listen to your president, my president, Donald J. Trump, with another Q proof.
Thank you very much. Next.
Lastly, sir, this is a presidential memorandum on countering domestic terrorism and organized political violence. In recent weeks, months, and years, we've seen a tremendous upsurge in some highly visible, but also other acts of domestic terrorism and organized political violence being perpetrated by radical, politically motivated groups all over the country. What this presidential memorandum will do is set off an administration-wide response to that, ranging from the Joint Terrorism Task Forces to other components of the Department of Justice to the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Treasury. We're looking at interdicting these groups, preventing them from performing acts of violence, and also looking at sources of organization and funding and support that prop them up and allow them to do the acts that they have been doing.
We're looking at the funders of a lot of these groups, and when you see the signs, and they're all beautiful signs made professionally, these aren't your protesters that make the sign in their basement late in the evening because they really believe it. These are anarchists and agitators, professional anarchists and agitators, and they get hired by wealthy people, some of whom I know, I guess, probably know them. And you wouldn't know it. You're at dinner with them, everything's nice, and then you find out that they funded millions of dollars to these lunatics.
Bill Gates, okay?
Steve, could you say a couple of words?
Yes, Mr. President. This is a very historic and significant day. This is the first time in American history that there is an all-of-government effort to dismantle left-wing terrorism, to dismantle Antifa, to dismantle the organizations that have been carrying out these acts of political violence and terrorism. What we have seen, if you look at whether it be going back to the riots that started with Black Lives Matter and all the way through to the Antifa riots, the attacks on ICE officers, the doxing campaigns, and now the political assassinations, these are not lone, isolated events. This is part of an organized campaign of radical left terrorism. It is structured, it is sophisticated, it is well-funded, it is well-planned. There is really no parallel like this to anything else in the country right now. There is an entire system of feeder organizations that provide money, resources, weapons, and when they're attacking ICE officers, they're attacking federal buildings, or they're isolating public officials for harassment, doxing, intimidation, and ultimately attempted assassination. It is all carefully planned, executed, and thought through. It is terrorism on our soil. Because of this executive order, Cash and Pam are going to have the tools they need, working with Scott, to take these organizations apart piece by piece. And the central hub of that effort is going to be the Joint Terrorism Task Force, or JTTF, which sits inside the Federal Bureau of Investigation. But for those at home who are worried about terrorism in this country, they need to understand, because of President Trump's strength, because of his vision, because of his leadership, we are now going to use the entire force of the federal government to uproot these organizations root and branch. And again, that's only possible because of President Trump and his leadership.
Thank you. Steve Cash, please.
Yes, as Steve was saying, Mr. President, thanks to your leadership, crime is going downward in a tremendous fashion, and that's what we want for every city in America. And the FBI's premier flagship enterprise, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, are honored to lead this initiative with our partners at Treasury and Homeland Security, because our citizens are being attacked by, as Stephen said, organized violence, and is being paid for, not by them, by other people. So what we are going to do, combining forces as Scott and I have done in these last few months, is follow the money. People and organizations have collected funds and put them out into the streets of America and organize violence across our country. And thanks to your recognition of this and this executive order and the AG's leadership to lead out and prosecute these individuals, we are properly going to chase them down like the domestic terrorists that they are, and our streets and our communities will be safer because the JTTF and the FBI and Treasury and DHS and DOJ are going to combine forces like never before to root out this new evil that is perpetrating our criminal activities across our societies. And we are just so thankful for your leadership and recognition of it. It's not easy to do.
Good job. Thank you very much,
Who
Pam.
specifically do you want to target?
What?
Besides Antifa, is there a specific group or person you're targeting with this?
Any organized group.
Any organization?
Any organized group who are committing these crimes, and we're working.
And by the way, there's 20 posts with follow the money, guys. Okay?
Isn't that
Thank you,
interesting
Cash.
that it was his question?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, which groups are immune? And also, yeah, Stephen Miller said groups on the left. It's not just groups on the left.
Mm-hmm.
With the Secretary of Treasury. You know what law enforcement has told us under President Trump's leadership? He's taken the handcuffs off law enforcement. They can do their jobs now, thanks to you, President Trump, and that's what's happening. And all of these agencies that Cash mentioned, we work hand in hand together. Our prosecutors were following the money with Treasury. We're working with Homeland Security. Cash's agents, all of our agents, DEA, ATF, U.S. Marshals, combined are working, and with state and local government, to take these people off the streets who are jeopardizing lives.
Can I just illustrate this? So I was talking with Cash and Stephen about this a couple of days ago, sir. So I believe it was in Oregon where you had a federal building where there were men in black ski masks who were committing acts of violence, who were shutting down a government building. To the president's point, they don't come from nowhere. These are paid people. This is organized. They're committing acts of political terrorism on American soil. And it's time we had a government that looked out for the American people rather than the people who are committing violence against the American people.
When you go out to Portland and you see what's happening in Portland, this is like nobody's ever seen anything like it. Every night, and this has gone on for years. They just burn the place down, and the shop owners, most of them have left, but the few shops that are open, they just use plywood and just like 3/4-inch plywood. They don't put storefronts in because they know it's going to be burned down. These are professional agitators.
That's right.
These are bad people, and they're paid a lot of money by rich people, some of whom we know. I'm sure I know some. I don't. If I knew, I wouldn't associate because I'll be in trouble because Pam will say, "Why are you associating with this person?"
Did you hear that?
I did.
Did you hear that, Shady?
I did.
Okay. Let's just back this up a little bit.
A lot of money by rich people, some of whom we know. I'm sure I know some. I don't. If I knew, I wouldn't associate because I'll be in trouble because Pam will say, "Why are you associating with this person?" But I will tell you that these are bad people, and they're paying a lot of money, millions of dollars. But take a look at Portland sometime. These are wild. These are crazy people. And they're trying to burn down buildings, including federal buildings. And on my list of things that I want to do before we finish up with the cities, because I think we're going to whip the cities back into shape. But we have to. We cannot let our cities, and that's a small example, but it's the most violent example. It's every night, and they've done it for years. You'd think maybe at some point they made their point, and what are they doing? But we're going to get out there, and we're going to do a pretty big number of those people in Portland that are doing that. They're professional agitators and anarchists. They're actually anarchists, yeah. Go ahead, why don't you defend? Let's see you defend them, Jeff.
No, I'm not defending anyone. I just want, so that we can just explain this in our stories, can you name a couple?
You don't explain it right, though, Jeff. Go ahead, let's go. Maybe let's give you another chance. Go ahead.
Antifa, Soros,
Yeah.
what names are we talking about?
Well, Soros is a name certainly that I keep hearing. I don't know, but Soros is a name that I hear. I hear a lot of different names. I hear names of some pretty rich people that are radical left people. Maybe I hear about a guy named Reid Hoffman. Somebody's a pretty rich guy, I guess, and I hear about him. I don't know. Maybe could be him. Could be a lot of people. We hear the same names, but they're bad, and we're going to find out. And if they are funding these things, they're going to have some problems because they're agitators and they're anarchists. These are anarchists. Really bad. Okay, yeah, please.
Can you, Mr. President, can you comment on
Who you with? Who you with?
I'm with the Center Square. Sarah Rodriguez is my name. Sarah, there's also, as you know, Antifa is not just a domestic terror, or now a domestic terror organization. It's also international. I know the Netherlands is looking at also designating them a terror organization.
Right.
Have you been working with your intel community and your DNI to possibly expand that to making them designated
Yes,
an
we have.
international terror
Yeah, we have
organization?
been. Yep. It's an international. In many cases, it is international.
Mr.
Yeah.
Madam, on Antifa, if someone takes to the streets of America and says they're Antifa, what happens to them? What will happen to them?
Well, I'd say the maximum under the law, and we'll see. Now, if they kill somebody, we just signed a death penalty, so it depends where it is. But if they kill somebody, which they do, I mean, people are dying. You go out to Portland, people die out there. Many people have died over the years in Portland. Portland is, I don't know how anybody lives there. It's amazing. But it's anarchy out there, and that's what they want. They want anarchy, like when they attacked Seattle and took over a big percentage of the city. I was going to go out, and we were going to do a big number. They heard that, and everybody broke up all of a sudden. But, you know, you have governors that have to run that, and a lot of them don't do that. I don't like to go in. I'd rather have Pritzker's support when we go into Chicago. But if we don't have it, that's okay, too, because we're paramount, and we will do what we have to do. We're going to make Chicago safe. We're going to make we're going to make as many as we can, and usually that involves a surge. But what we did with, in the case of Chicago, by having the FBI go out there 5 or 6 months ago, we brought it down a little bit. You know, a little bit is 25%, so it's not so little, but it is when you're talking about the kind of crime and killings and murders that you hear in Chicago. But we're going to get it. Chicago's a great city. As the Union Pacific said, the head of the Union Pacific, who's a great guy, started off as a low-rung guy. He said he started at a caboose, and now he's the chairman of the Union Pacific.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay. So we've got the chairman of the Union Pacific, Pacer Original Companies, guys.
Yep.
Wow. This is, and we're going to be talking about the farmers today in hour number 2. You're going to want to get Rumble Premium because we're going to show you how they have the plan to starve America. And President Donald J. Trump is going directly against that. You're not going to want to miss hour number 2 about our great farmers of America, Shady.
I can't believe that we're doing this again on another Friday. Here we are. And again, we're going to be talking today in this book that you're seeing there in our premium content about the plan to starve America, the plan that you've been watching unfold ever since the moment that you were born. You saw how they had a plan, some sort of plan to starve America. We're going to be talking about how that originated today. At the same time, Donald Trump is talking about how we're going to help the farmers get through this little operation that China is running against our soybeans right now.
Yep. And yes, they merged with Norfolk Southern. So let's just go back a little bit because he's kind of giving a nod to you guys because you know. You don't think this guy knows?
He knows.
He knows.
He knows.
As a low-rung guy, he said he started at a caboose, and now he's the chairman of the Union Pacific. But he's a great guy. But he said, "Sir, don't lose Chicago." The way he said it, I said, boy, it really hit me. You know, here's a man that knows all the cities. The Union Pacific, I guess, is our largest railroad, and he knows all the cities. He's been doing it for 45 years, and he said, "Sir, don't lose Chicago." And the way he said that meant a lot to me, and we're going to go into Chicago very soon. We're going to take care of Memphis. We're going to take care of Memphis. You can't walk a block without getting shot. We're going to take care of that one, and just like we did Washington, D.C., and we're gonna do Chicago very soon. Yeah.
There could be an indictment on James Comey. Do you know if there is an indictment or?
So he targeted Soros as well, Shady Grove. Wow. Just wow.
So I'm going to have to go through the gamut here real quick, man. Number one, Chicago. Think Chicago, Cincinnati. You guys understand this? Chicago, Charleston, and Cincinnati, the railroad. The railroad is at the center of the American conversation, the center of the control of America, the center of the Federal Reserve. The meaty middle is the railroad companies. It is the Chicago, Cincinnati, and Charleston Railroad that is located in Chicago. The center of the mafia corruption in America stems from the exact same place, okay? How does it all work together? How does it all work in unison with the Fed? What are you currently seeing going on whenever you have, what if we have been watching the Fed utilize all of these antics with NGOs and their railroads to literally lord over us and infect us with drugs and illegal immigrants? What if they've been using that process against you? And what if you just heard Kash Patel tell you that they were going to do the unthinkable? We are going to utilize the Patriot Act authority that we were given, that was always intended to be used against you and never intended to be used against the people that you thought it was going to be used toward. Now we're going to use the Joint Terrorism Task Force to go after the NGOs that are causing violence in our streets. The MG Show has been talking about these NGOs for 4 years and explaining to you that this is exactly how they're doing it. The money is coming in through the 501c4s, and if they put a stop to it, if people don't get their money, Jeff, if people don't get their money, they will not dress up in all black and go throw rocks through store windows and attack people. They won't. I promise you. They absolutely will not. We know that for 100% fact. The administration knows that for 100% fact. And all the people that are afraid that he's going to stop them, including your little psyops on our side, all those people are fighting him and paying for that reason, not the reasons that they profess.
That's right, guys. And you know, what's interesting too is, you know, it's all connected. These people are trying to save this whole thing. Okay. From the Federal Reserve to, you know, the terrorists and the NGOs, and it's all connected. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. Sean Linan, Weekly Wood Chips for the week. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And then Donald Trump also gaggles today before departing for Bethpage Black, Shady. I've played that course before.
I'm so jelly. I am so jelly of that.
I probably didn't do as good as you would.
It doesn't matter how good you do. You got to play Bethpage Black.
I also got to play Copperhead before it was turf ready with, let's see, he was South African, Nick Price. I played that with Nick Price.
That must have been an amazing day. Nick seems like one of those guys that you could just like hang out with forever.
He was awesome. And like, look, we brought customers there and he was like selling my company to the customers. It was beautiful.
You turned him into like an ad. Like
he was sponsored by Dimension Data.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep. He also lives right here in, right by me. And there's another course here that you would love. I would love to get you on it if I could, but it's a private course. There's no homes on it. And it's called MacArthur, which was an old milk company, right, back in the day. And there's two courses on it, one that you don't know, two that people can actually go on. And Tiger Woods is a Whisper member there. I played that course with him twice. Wow. And that course is so amazing, Shady.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that. Like with, I'm trying to remember who told me. And by the way, Scottish Anon was asking who's going to win the Ryder Cup. It's going to be America.
So
America. Just let you know, that's who's going to win.
All right, Suzuki said, as soon as I heard him say that, I thought of you guys and my mouth opened wide. If I haven't started following you too, I would have no idea what Trump was talking about right then and there. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Suzy Q. $20 Rumble rent. Appreciate that. So let's go to Trump's gaggle, Shady Grove, today. He talks about Comey. He lies, and he lies a lot. Who else lied to President Donald J. Trump that you guys know? I'll give you 3 stars in general. Here we go.
Comey's a dirty cop.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for a little while to represent the United States at the Ryder Cup, which is very exciting. And we'll be watching that. This is Kai, by the way, in case you didn't know how he is. And we'll be watching a little golf. I think we have maybe a deal on Gaza, very close to a deal on Gaza. Oh, yeah? Hello, Peter. And it's looking like we have a deal on Gaza. And we'll let you know. Mr. President, I think it's a deal that will get the hostages back. It's going to be a deal that will end the war. It's going to be a deal with, it's going to be peace. I think we have a deal. That'll be number 8, Peter. Not Mr. President, I'm James Comey. Now that James Comey has been indicted, who is the next person on your list in this retribution? Not a list, but I think there'll be others. I mean, they're corrupt.
Next person on the list.
These were corrupt, radical left Democrats. Because Comey essentially was he was worse than a Democrat. I would say the Democrats are better than Comey. But no, there'll be others. Look, that's my opinion. They weaponized the Justice Department like nobody in history. What they've done is terrible. And so I hope there are others. You can't let this happen to a country.
Will you appoint a permanent U.S. attorney to try this case? Lindsey Halligan has never tried a case.
Well, we'll see, but it's a pretty easy case because, look, he lied. You saw my truth today. He lied. It was yes, no. He didn't say, well, in my opinion, he didn't do a lot of things that maybe he should have, but I don't think he could because he lied. That was a very important question that he was asked, and he wanted to be specific, but he didn't. The only thing that happened to him, he didn't think he'd get caught. That answer that he gave, that was a very important answer. And it was for him, it was a very good answer if he didn't get caught. But he got caught lying to Congress.
How is this not? President Trump, are you worried now that the next time there's a Democratic president, they will indict your FBI director or people in your administration?
That's what they tried to do, right? They did it with me. For 4 years, they went after me. They went after me for 4 years, and that doesn't include the 4 great years that we had in the White House. So when I ran it from 2016 when we won, it began before I got to office. You know that. Wait a minute. Before I came to office, I started hearing rumors about Russia. I said, what the hell do I have to do with Russia? Nothing. And then it got worse and worse, and some of the fake news, not you, but some of the fake news picked it up and they loved it. And we went through a long time with that. And despite that, we had a great first term.
That's how it went, where they made you go and take a mugshot. Is this more about justice or is it about revenge?
It's about justice, really. It's not revenge. It's also about the fact that you can't let this go on. They are sick, radical left people, and they can't get away with it. And Comey was one of the people. He wasn't the biggest, but he's a dirty cop. He's always been a dirty cop. Everybody knew it. And it's, as far as the case is concerned, he gave an answer. It was a strong answer. He then verified it a couple of times because that was a very important answer. If he would have equivocated, if he would have been like a little bit less sure, that would have been very bad for him. So he gave an answer. The only problem is for him, he didn't think he'd be caught, and he got caught, Peter. This is about justice. He lied a lot, but this was a very important thing. He could have said, well, maybe, or I don't remember. He didn't say that. He gave a very specific answer, and then he verified it numerous times, and he got caught. The problem that Comey has is he got caught lying, and he was very strong. It's not like, well, maybe, or I don't remember, he gave a very specific answer because it was a very powerful question, a very important question. And when he gave the answer, the only problem is he got caught. So, Mr. Well, we're going to see, but the radical left Democrats want to shut it down. I mean, it's up to them. We have a great economy going. You saw the numbers yesterday. They're fantastic. The economy's doing well. Prices are down. We have virtually no inflation. Everything's going good. We're respected by every nation in the world. And you know what happened? The Democrats want to shut it down. And they want to shut it down because they want to give billions, ultimately trillions of dollars to illegal migrants, people that came into our country illegally. Some of those people are criminals, but they came into our country illegally. And they want to give them the essential over years, trillions of dollars. And our people aren't going to stand for it. They also want to have open borders. They want to have men and women's sports. They want to have transgender for everybody. These people are crazy, the Democrats. So if it has to shut down, it'll have to shut down. But they're the ones that are shutting down government.
Wow. And, it was funny. Yesterday, I was watching the regular news here locally, and he said that Trump blamed the Democrats And they didn't show him saying that. They just said, "Oh, I just blame the Democrats," and then they stopped the announcement where he said they want transgender, the health care is for illegal aliens. They didn't even talk about that on the local news. You guys got to get with the program, local news, okay? And any news. You are the news now. Handle it with care because they are lying out their ass and omitting information. And omitting information and censorship is mind control. Shady.
They're doing the same. I should send you a broadcast from my local news and show you how they report on him out here.
Wow.
And, as far as like what they omit. And, you actually mentioned it at the top of the show. Every time that what he's saying bleeds over into the 5, we end up having to listen to what these goons say on TV as opposed to listening to what the guy that's in charge of the free world is saying. It's like very interesting how often that is happening. It happened the other day during the whole autism thing. As soon as Donald Trump was done talking, Fox News goes back to the 5, and they didn't even play a word of what RFK Jr. said that day. Right. So they are omitting things down the line, like they're trying to like effectively for the presidency to not be happening in real time. That's literally what they think they're going to engineer. And if you want to take it apart, look at what Fox News is doing. They're doing nothing but promoting Democrats. They're promoting the Stephen Smith guy, and they're promoting everything Kamala Harris says. It's a news story that's picked up by every single show on their dumb channel every day, and you don't hear a damn word about what Donald Trump actually said or did that was positive and productive for us. You don't hear anything about what he's doing with the Fed. You don't hear anything about inflation coming down. You don't hear anything about the jobs. They're now said the Treasury's yield came back yesterday at 3.6% in the second quarter. Not even a news story about it.
Wow. They just omit the success.
Omit everything.
I know a lot of people are still having a hard time. You're not. You won't feel the effects until probably next year, mid.
Will be
maybe even late next year, guys. And we need to be realistic about this. Okay.
No, I think that's a great point to be making because there is a residual. The things that are actually being sold in the market today were manufactured 6 months to a year ago. So there's this lag with inflation and with overcoming large prices. Like with the farmers, this is a big part of what Trump is doing with the farmers. And every single power on planet Earth is trying to stop us from becoming independent. The world does not want America to become self-sufficient again because we don't need the rest of your crap if we make our stuff that's worthy here.
Yeah. Mickey, I want to read Mickey's greetings, fam. Was driving during AJ and his Hitler panty toss claims. Sorry, Alex, my undergarments will stay firmly ensconced on my delicate unmentionables.
I'll eat your ass. I will.
Oh, God. All right, real quick, Shady, let's get this done. You're not going to want to miss hour number 2, guys, but I got to get this done before we go. But let's be clear. Cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It is here. It's the latest move cements that reality is the biggest way yet. Wow. Trump Media Group just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They're teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in CRO. The powerhouse token that fuels fast, low-fee DeFi, staking rewards, and real-world perks like cash back on your spends. To launch America's first CRO treasury, when it's done, this new company will be the biggest CRO holder out there. You want in on the action? Head to Crypto.com today and grab some CRO. Let's make crypto great again. All right. Shady, so we got the Q proof in regards to the NGOs. That's huge. And our Arabella advisors stuff, Shady, right? I mean, wow.
I mean, this is what's going to take down the temperature. If you guys want to take down, everybody it's not about rhetoric. I understand what they're saying. I love what JD and all these guys are saying. They're saying the exact right thing. But the truth of the matter is, what we've been showing you is it's not about the rhetoric. It's about the financing of it. And Trump is telling you 1-to-1 now we're taking it apart. This is an executive order that literally said we're taking apart the Arabella network because it's funding terrorism. And we're going to actually use the things that we built to defeat terrorism instead of using them against you for no reason. We're going to use them against the people that are funding the terrorism. It's mind-numbingly commonsensical, but Jeff, none of the conspiracy theorists can understand transparency. You have to understand that they will not be able to understand transparency because if there's no conspiracy, then why do you need the conspiracy theorist?
That's right. That's right. I mean, and everybody is like black pilling, and it's all, people need to realize that there's a lot of bullshit, guys.
We're doing God's work here.
Yeah. Holy moly, I'm way back here.
Yeah,
Wow.
You're so far back. I mean, it's Friday already, man.
Wow.
And you're like on Wednesday or something over there.
Whew. Wow. It's crazy. It is. It's crazy. I lost, let me log in. Hang on. Maybe that's what I got to do. I don't know. Anyways, so we got that, Shady.
We did.
How do I get?
Is it the login issue again?
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be an issue. We're currently in a process of YouTube entanglement.
Oh my God.
You should see what they're doing with that platform unless you're logged in now. Like it's crazy like how bad that platform is unless you are logged in.
It's so bad. iCloud. Let me just go over here. Password. Shit.
Oh no. I could be encouraging while you're doing that.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Let me.
I sure can.
No, you can't.
I can inspire people like nobody else.
No, you can't.
I could get people to stand up for themselves and to be like right all the time whenever they listen closely and pay attention and research. Like we could do that. We could do that every day here on the MG Show. Inspiration Incorporated.
Right.
Yes. Stand up, do better.
I got to enter a code. Hang on. They texted me a code. Hang on. I got it.
What's the code? Tell me the code. I'm gonna see if I can hack it in real time.
You don't help out very often, do you?
No, I didn't think I was supposed to. I was thinking that you didn't want dead air, so I was just,
this is just the same as dead air.
Oh, that's what he says to me off the air. This is really our normal functioning manner.
It is.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and breaking news. We got to get this out there, guys, because it's huge news. Okay. This is this is breaking news, guys. General Flynn's great friend Comey gets indicted, guys. Check it out.
The FBI director, who's a friend of mine, a great friend of mine. We've done a bunch of things together. We've testified together. The FBI director.
I'm a great friend.
that took a lot of effort to get to that.
It did, but I needed to get to that.
Oh, I know. You guys can now see the importance of that. That's more Inspiration Incorporated.
Wow, guys. What's the date of that? It is 2016, guys.
It's literally like less than a year from the time, quote unquote, Comey sent a couple guys down.
Yeah, and I think they were already in on this plan.
They were. That's why Q said rubber bullet. And then whenever Q said rubber bullet, Flynn's like, I got to activate my digital soldiers to say that what he meant was that I got arrested and that I lied to Pence.
All right. And now, what is Comey actually indicted of? September 30th, 2020, his testimony. Let's check it out.
Someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports about the Trump investigation or the Clinton administration. You responded again under oath, no. Now, as you know, Mr. McCabe, who works for you, has publicly and repeatedly stated that he leaked information to the Wall Street Journal and that you were directly aware of it and that you directly authorized it. Now, what Mr. McCabe is saying and what you testified to this committee cannot both be true. One or the other is false. Who's telling the truth?
I can only speak to my testimony. I stand by what the testimony you summarized that I gave in May of 2017.
So your testimony is you've never authorized anyone to leak. And Mr. McCabe, if he says contrary, is not telling the truth. Is that correct?
Again, I'm not going to characterize Andy's testimony, but mine is the same today.
Now, it turns out that appears to be a lie. Remember, Andrew McCabe leaked to the Wall Street Journal, we believe, at Comey's direction. Comey's own friend, a special government employee, Columbia Law School professor, leaking to the New York Times at Comey's direction. Now, on to count two, the numerous other false, misleading statements Comey is accused to have made. In that exact same hearing, Comey was asked by Senator Lindsey Graham, who will join us in a minute, about a memo he received from the Director of National Intelligence, effectively making the investigation of Hillary Clinton's emails disappear, replacing it with the Russia hoax. Comey said he never remembered, had no clue what happened. Watch this.
So do you recall getting an inquiry from the the intelligence community in September 2016 about a concern that the Clinton campaign was going to create a scandal regarding Trump and Russia?
I do not.
You don't remember getting a investigatory lead from the intelligence community? September the 7th. 2016, the U.S. intelligence officials forwarded an investigative referral of FBI to FBI Director James Comey and Assistant Director of Counterintelligence Peter Strzok regarding U.S. presidential candidate Hillary Clinton's approval of a plan concerning U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections as a means of distracting the public from her use of a private email server. You don't remember getting that or being taught? That doesn't ring
bells with me.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty stunning thing. It didn't ring a bell, but it did come to you.
Now, Senator Graham was on this program that very same night. I asked him whether or not he believed James Comey. Here's a reminder.
All I can say is he has a convenient memory. He remembers what is damning to Trump, and when something is helpful to Trump, it's like Sergeant Schultz was in charge of the FBI. I see nothing, I hear nothing.
I know nothing.
It's hard to believe that the director of the FBI, in charge of an investigation of a sitting president, wasn't told, oh, by the way, the subsource who prepared the dossier, we think it's a Russian agent back to 2009. It's hard to believe they didn't tell the director of the FBI. The subsource tells us that the dossier is bar talk, not reliable, take it with a grain of salt. It's hard to believe that they don't tell the FBI director the CIA has warned us that the dossier prepared by Christopher Steele and a suspected Russian spy is all internet rumor. So here's Comey's problem. If one person can come forward and say, I briefed the director about the problems with the subsource, I told the director that the CIA was worried about the reliability of the dossier, then he is in big time trouble.
And Mr.
We'll leave it there, but wow, that's what he's indicted about. There's 2 counts now. However, I think we have another Q proof brewing, Shady Groove. I want to get through this one. So we got the Q proof with foundations. We got the Q proof yesterday with the Clinton Foundation and the 800 number as well. We've got another one right here because Catherine Harridge says, more to come, Comey, based on my 2 decades covering FBI Justice Department. Let me just make this bigger. Okay. A thin indictment suggests a holding charge with the potential of more complex superseding indictments that adds more charges. So this is a pesky Q-proof developing bigger slam dunk charges coming. Ha-ha. So Q post 3569, guys, here they are right here. 3569, bigger slam dunk charges coming. And you got this graphic right here. DOJ will not prosecute Comey for leaking memos after IG referral sources. Then you've got this one right here. Dan Bongino status. Very interesting. Bigger slam dunk charges coming. And that Dan Bongino post is no longer there, but it says, I'm not playing the game until the Durham investigation concludes. I strongly encourage you to do the same. Check out this for more. That is February 14th. So we've got bigger slam dunk charges coming. And this is based on her 2 decades. I believe this is a developing pesky Q proof, Shady.
I absolutely do believe that, because it looks to me like that this is them kicking the investigation off before the statute of limitations runs out on the 5 years since that testimony that you saw right there. Another thing Fox News did is, like yesterday, they're playing testimony from like 2017, acting like that was his testimony on Laura Ingraham. Like, they do not show real information, and we have to sit here and point it out. It's literally a full-time occupation to sit here and point out how many people are lying to you with knowing the information that they have is inaccurate. They do it anyway. They're all part of the system that has been developed to control you, the system that we have exposed here exclusively, the MG Show, the Matrix Groove Hour, the Q Lounge Live. We've exposed the gross underbelly of what is actually going on and how deep the corruption goes. That's the reason that we were censored, not because we talked about Bigfoot and aliens, because we talked about government corruption.
That's right. Do you believe he's innocent? Let's listen.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right. But I'm not afraid, and I hope you're not either. I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it, which it does.
You are the tyrant.
My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent.
No, you're not.
So let's have a trial and keep the faith.
Oh, we're going to have a trial.
So Comey posted that on Instagram yesterday. Comey treason. There's 67 Q posts with Comey.
Yeah, and that's probably not including the ones with JC, which is a number of other Q posts.
That's right. And by the way, guys, we are out of here. We're going to premium, guys. We've got a lot to read. We're talking about the farmers and what President Trump is doing to help said farmers. Yeti, why don't you take us out of here? God bless you all. See you guys Monday.
Thank you guys so much.
Wait. Go ahead.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
How did Soros replace family? Who's pulling the strings in the dark? Trace the bloodline secrets they hide, tearing the world apart. World War II, a stage for the game. Was Hitler just a pawn? A handler in shadows, calling his name while the world was drawn and gone. What was the purpose, the real one unseen, behind the smoke and the fire? Soros was young, but the wheels kept turning, building a global empire. Since the fall of the Reich, the players remain. Merkel rises, who is she? Follow her bloodline, dig through the pain. Truths buried in history. Bloodlines and shadows controlling the game. Titanic sank, but who's to blame? The Fed pulls strings, the narrative's tight. The truth's too heavy, it burns in the night. Sheep follow blindly, the story's a lie. Unravel the secrets before we all die. Titanic went down 1912. Why is it still relevant now? Who died on that ship? Who made the list? Who escaped? And how? The elite got lifeboats, the rest left to drown. Class was the key to survive. Names on the records, but some never found. How do we know who's alive? Tickets were bought, but who was invited? Less than 10 held the key. The Fed was born, a beast in the night, controlling the world's money. Who runs the Fed? Who signed its birth? Shadows behind the throne. Hollywood spins, Titanic is love, but the truth cuts to the bone. Bloodlines and shadows controlling the game. Titanic sank, but who's to blame? The Fed pulls strings, the narrative's tight. The truth's too heavy, it burns in the night. Sheep follow blindly, the story's a lie. Unravel the secrets before we all die. Hindenburg burned, a fiery psyop who died in the flames that night. Why does it matter? The narrative spun, keeping the sheep in fright. Brainwashing masses, controlling the mind. Snow White's a code for the blind. Iron Eagle soars, thorns in our dreams. CIA scripts secrets intertwined. The truth so dark, it breaks the world. 99%